Good morning, welcome back to my channel. Josh, the driving instructor here, and today we have a very special guest for a mock test. We have Jazz.
Hi everybody.
So Jazz, you do a little bit of TikTok, don't you?
I do, yeah.
You do a little...
Great on TikTok.
What was it? What was the famous video you told me about?
When I found a dead spider behind my eye.
That must have been a really gross experience.
It wasn't great.
No. Very popular though. Very popular. If you want to see that, have a look at Jazz's channel. What's your name on there?
Jazz Katie.
Jazz Katie, there you go. Feel free to find it. It'll be in the link below. I'll also get it in the video as well, somewhere like here or somewhere. We'll get it in there, won't we? So we've got the test coming up. We don't know exactly when it is, but you thought you wanted to do a mock test in Newcastle. Is there anything you particularly worried? What did you want out of this today?
Just to make sure I'm not doing any little things that might, cause a few minors.
Little
just
hiccups.
to make sure that I'm on the mark and that my manoeuvres are perfect.
Okay, great. So you've done a lot of lessons during lockdown lessons. This is lockdown lessons with Mum?
Yeah, basically.
You've done most of your learning with Mum, really, haven't you? We've had we've had two lessons. This is the third time you've sat in this car. Yeah. So absolutely, this is quite intense, Basically, you've mentioned that you weren't too sure about what a driving test entails.
Yeah, so I obviously know all the manoeuvres that could be in it, but other than that, I don't really know what to expect.
So this could be do you want the full experience today?
Yes, 100%.
Get a good feel for it. How are you feeling about it?
A little bit nervous, but then when you know that you're being judged anyway, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
We've been fine on our lessons so
Absolutely.
far, so
I'm not worried. We're going to be absolutely sound. Now, Jazz absolutely loves talking, the same as I absolutely love talking, so we might have to fight for talking or take it in turns, I don't know, but we'll figure something out. This is going to be a proper mock test. Yeah, you'd like the full experience. Yeah. However, we are going to talk in it, we are going to have fun. We're not going to sit here in silence because that makes it intense, more intense than it needs to be, and it just doesn't add to the learning experience. So, you happy with that?
Yeah.
Cool, okay. Let's get this sat-nav set up and then we will head off. First of all, at the beginning of your driving test, the examiner is first going to ask you to read a number plate just to make sure you can see. Okay. This is normally about 25 meters away. This is a little bit less, but even so. So can you read the Vauxhall number plate?
SA62FY.
Next, you'd be sitting in the driving seat of the car. The examiner would be sitting here and they'd say, Jazz, can you tell me how you check the directional indicators are working properly?
I turn on the electric of the car and turn them both on, check that they're working on the dashboard and get out and check that they were working.
Fantastic, excellent. So that would be another minor avoided.
Do you follow a sat-nav the whole way?
No, so you follow sat-nav for between 20 and 30 minutes of the driving test.
Okay.
As I said, driving test should be 40 minutes. There's going to be at least 10 minutes of them giving directions. Now, not every driving test is like that. There's a few, sometimes with the driving tests, they will actually just get you to follow signposts. So there won't be any sat-nav. Okay. But sat-nav's very, very easy.
Yeah.
It's someone showing you and telling you where to go rather than someone just telling you. All right. When you're ready, let's go. Yeah, we can go right. That'll be fine.
Really see. Really slowly.
Yes, particularly today, I imagine.
Yeah.
So where did you tend to practice with Mum?
A bit of everywhere. Obviously, I live in Crewe, so I drive around Crewe quite a lot.
Right.
Done a lot around Newcastle. Other areas of Stoke, really. When I was at university in Liverpool, I used to drive myself to Liverpool.
Did you?
Yeah, obviously not on the motorway, but the back streets and that took us about 3 hours because obviously we weren't going on the motorway, and that was like a really good experience.
I can imagine it was. That's how you train if you really want to go for it.
Yeah.
Drive to Liverpool.
I found an insurance company that put me on the insurance.
After 400 yards, go right on the roundabout, 4th exit. roundabout, 4th exit.
So if you notice I'm going quiet at all, it's not because I'm being an ignorant pig, it's because I know there's going to be a part you're going to need to concentrate on.
Yeah,
Cross
like
the
the roundabout.
roundabout,
That's it.
2nd
Yeah,
exit.
That's it. So just think about that on your driving test as well. If the examiner's going particularly quiet or they're not talking, it may not be because they're trying to be a pain, because they're not trying to be a pain, it's because they want you to focus and they know something particularly irritating is coming up.
Yeah.
Cross the roundabout, 2nd exit.
Now I've actually paused it here because this roundabout is notorious for having bad road markings. As you can see here, Jazz has got into the left lane. She's going around the outside, which is absolutely perfect. She needs to continue around there, but as you can see, the road markings at this point are not all that clear. She needs to continue and make sure she stays in the left lane and take her time, so just in case any of those cars pull out on her, and continue on as she does. Practice this roundabout before your driving test, just to make sure that you know what you're doing, because you need to make sure you do not invade into that right lane. Not a very nice roundabout, that one.
No.
Very messy lines on there. But
Because your gears are high as well, I probably could have gone around that in second instead of trying to go first.
there's no perfect way of driving as long as it's safe. That's the important thing. So what made you decide to go for driving lessons in Stoke then? As you say, you're from your crew?
Yeah, well, when I first started driving, it was when I first had like proper lessons. I didn't have that many, but I was living with my mum here, so
Right.
After
I learned to drive around
300
here,
yards,
so
go left on the roundabout.
Got ya.
1st exit.
So you did originally live around
Turn
here.
right.
You've only moved up there recently, have you?
yeah, I grew up around
Oh,
here. So
makes sense.
yeah, I always lived around here. My mum's and my dad's.
Go left on the roundabout, 1st exit, then turn right. After 100 yards, turn right. Turn right.
So obviously in the two lessons you've had before, you know, the first one we did some manoeuvres and we made sure we went over your driving, and the second one we did a bit of a mock test, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we've obviously got this one. Can you tell us, how does it compare, like the last one compared to this one? How do you feel?
I still feel like I feel confident. I feel like we've gone over. You told me what to expect,
Yeah.
which is really, really good. But,
Yeah.
yeah, this one obviously is a little bit more. I need to be a bit more on the ball. Well, you always need to be on the ball when you're driving, but like, I just need to make sure I'm not doing any bad habits, and then obviously I'm following the sign up, which
After
we didn't do.
200
Right,
yards,
okay.
turn right.
So you saying you feel a bit more pressure?
Yeah, a little bit, but
Okay.
I suppose everyone feels a bit of pressure when they know they're being watched.
I would think so. Absolutely.
Turn right.
Do you think that could affect someone's driving?
Yeah, but both for a positive and a negative. Like I say, I'm making sure I'm not doing my bad habits.
Yeah.
So that obviously, well, I do try and make sure I do that whenever I'm driving anyway. But I'm really making sure that I'm not doing like little stupid things. But then I suppose as well, the nerves might get the better of them, and they might, you know, do a few little slip-ups.
So you're saying you're almost using it as a massive focus to make sure to really focus on not doing those bad habits that you've picked up with, you know, driving on our own.
After 100 yards,
so that's brilliant. That's the idea.
left.
But there's not too much nerves that's going to put you off, which is fantastic. Do you think this is a good experience for someone who's about to go for the driving test? Do you think it's more similar to the actual driving test than just going for a little test with your driving instructor?
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I say, I'll know what to expect.
When it's safe to do so, can you pull over on the left?
Yeah.
So this is absolutely fantastic. Jazz hasn't rushed to pull over on the left. I've asked her to pull over when it's safe to do so, and those are the key words, when it's safe to do so. It's your responsibility to look out for those junctions, those driveways, and decide on yourself without rushing to pull over. Brilliant. When it's safe to do so, can you drive on?
Yeah.
Fantastic blind spot check there. Whenever you're asked to pull over on your driving test, which will be a minimum of 3 times, you must make sure you check over that right shoulder. The mirror's just not good enough. It will not show if there's a car or a bike or anything else in that blind spot. So on your driving test, they are going to pull you over on at least 3 separate occasions. Could be more, especially if they feel, don't worry about it, it's not your fault. It could be more if they don't feel like you're checking your blind spot or doing something not quite right. So if there is more than 3, then you really need to be thinking, what am I missing here?
100 yards, turn right. Then, at the end of the road, turn left. Turn right. Then, at the end of the road, turn left.
Can't really pull myself in properly.
Because there's a car parked on the corner, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Very busy
Turn
little road,
left.
this, isn't it?
Then, turn right.
Alright, we'll have to drop it. It's like a car soon.
Turn right.
This corner here is a little bit of a pain because you've got a car parked very close to the junction, so you really need to make sure that you go slow, have a good look down the road, and try your best to stay on your side of the road. Don't just go cutting the corner.
Sorry.
Why are you apologising?
Could have definitely gone then.
Why do you feel you need to... So Jazz is actually apologising because she didn't turn right. Instead, she chose to wait for those oncoming vehicles, which in my opinion was the absolute right thing to do. Why would you take a risk in pulling in front of a car when you can just wait patiently? If she had pulled out in front of the car and it was considered incorrect, it would definitely be a serious fault. So when it's safe to do so, can you pull over on the right?
At the end of the road, turn left. Then go right on the roundabout.
Away from my car.
Great. When it's safe to do so, can you reverse back 2 car spaces?
Yeah.
And that should be plenty. And when it's safe, can you drive on?
Yeah.
God, we're taking this quite seriously, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's a bit intense, this.
I just keep saying yeah. Remember. Yeah.
Normally can't shut you up.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
I think it's
like
because I'm
it.
trying to think about
the end of
You're really
the
focused,
I'm
aren't you?
doing, yeah.
Yeah, and it's important. You've got to.
Right on
If you
the
don't, you'll make
roundabout.
mistakes. You know, I'm terrible. I can't talk and drive at the same time. My wife always has to, Josh, you know, do this or whatever. I'm like, shut up, I'm a driving instructor.
It's terrible.
It's, isn't it?
After 200 yards, go right on the roundabout, third exit.
When I first started learning, no one could talk to me. I couldn't have any distractions.
No.
I'm fine now.
I remember you saying you couldn't have the radio on, could you?
Yeah, no, I couldn't have
Go
radio on, and then
right
one
on
day
the roundabout,
I
third
just
exit.
did without realising, and then that's it. Then I have it on all the time now.
Love the radio. But it is a distraction, you're absolutely right, and it's best not to if you're finding it distracting, you know. There's nothing wrong with telling the examiner to be quiet either, you know.
Yeah.
If they're yabbering on, which does happen.
Glad you told me that.
Hey,
Glad you told me.
yeah, absolutely. So that pulling over on the right, that was one of the manoeuvres. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you're on a driving test, that would have been your manoeuvre done. You can be confident that, you know, unless you would have
After
to.
300 yards, go right on the roundabout,
One in-
fourth exit.
Okay, love. 1 in 3 people do also do an emergency stop, so that could still possibly be you, but it might not as well. So.
Go right on the roundabout, fourth exit.
So this is a spiral roundabout, so ideally we'd find the lane we want to go into and we continue in that lane without changing lanes on the roundabout. As you can see here, you've got 2 lanes to choose from. I would always stick to the leftmost lane because that's going to bring you off in the left lane at the end, meaning you're not going to have to change lanes and you're not in the overtaking lane. Because it was completely clear, you've changed lanes and you did all the spot checks, I'm going to put it down as a minor, but if there was another car or anything else, there's a high chance this would go down as a serious fault.
Take the exit, then keep right. After 700 yards, keep right. Keep right, then exit ahead.
Coming up with this one.
Keep going, sorry, keep going. So we're saying 80 yards, keep right. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Exit
so
ahead.
exit ahead.
Yes.
Is the next one. Very close together, these two.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. 3/4 of a mile, see at the top of the sat nav?
Yeah.
Always keep an eye out on that.
Okay.
After 800 yards, take the exit, then keep right. Take the exit, then keep right.
Yeah, it'll be really quiet on Very unlike me.
Well, it is unlike you. As I say, I'm letting you focus because I know it's intense, isn't it? You know, this.
After 200 yards, keep right, then go right on the roundabout. Keep right, then go right on the
So this is Basford Roundabout. It's a very well-known roundabout in Stoke-on-Trent. It's a pretty standard spiral roundabout, and luckily it's very clearly labelled. For the direction we're going toward Newcastle, all you have to do is follow the signs for A53 West. They're signposted on the road. You can see the sign in the picture there as well. Then all you have to do is literally follow your lines all the way to the end, and it will just guide you into the road with very little effort.
Third exit. Take the exit.
Because you're focusing. You're nervous, you're focusing. And carriage is quiet. That's okay.
Yeah. I think it is because I'm focusing so much.
Yeah.
I'm not as nervous as I was when I got in the car. So.
You feel better doing it?
Yeah, I can relax a little bit now.
Good. 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 I like that on that car. Snoopy. So we're not too far from the end of the test route, I'd say. So it'd probably be around now, somewhere where they turn the sat-nav off and they'd start directing you where to go.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a test route that one of my students did 2-3 weeks ago. So this is a very, very new, well, a live test route. Maybe not new, but live.
Yeah.
After 300 yards, turn left, then take the second left.
Lights.
Yes. Yeah. So everything you're asking is directional.
Turn left, then take the second
So that shouldn't be
left.
any issue with the examiner at all, and there's no issue with me agreeing or confirming with directions, because the test is nothing to do with directions. It's not a test of your ability to follow a sat nav. It's a test of your safety on the road. Yeah.
After 200 yards, turn left, then go right on the roundabout.
You still want me to just keep following
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I can direct you as well, but as she's on
then
anyway.
go right on the roundabout.
it? Potholes absolutely everywhere.
Go right on the roundabout. Third exit. Then take the third right.
So during the driving test as well, you'd be asked a show me question. Something like, can you show me how to clean the front windscreen?
Okay.
And then you'd show me.
After
yeah.
300 yards, turn
Oh,
right.
thank you. That's
Then
really good.
turn right.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I actually don't know where any of your
Well, you did well then, didn't you?
yeah, I just guessed then.
Yeah, that was really good.
Had to be one of them, didn't it?
It did. It really did. Very good guess.
It's the same on my car.
It should be, hopefully, the same on most cars. See where the ambulance is turning?
Yeah.
We turn it down there.
Yeah, sorry.
Turn right. Then turn right.
Now this is a really tight corner here, and as you can see, it's a bit confusing because there's a box prior for people turning right from the opposite direction, then there's a small box for us turning right as well. So ideally try and avoid the box for them turning right on the opposite side of the road, and try and enter into our box. Try and make sure your full car's in there as well, or just do your best. You just want to avoid blocking as many people as possible.
sat back a bit then, it was because of them cars and I wanted them to have enough space to get
Pass.
After 200 yards, turn right.
Really benefit from going a bit slower down this sort of road. You've got parked cars on your left and you've got oncoming traffic on your right. You really don't want to be doing much more than 10-15 miles per hour.
last week.
My brother's?
Yeah.
Yes, I did
Turn
actually.
right.
It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So you see he's doing... Yeah, it was absolutely... so we went round... Day before yesterday. Have a look. The whole ceiling had come out. It was a mess. Water everywhere. Opened the toilet. Twisted the cistern in the centre. Stopped leaking. Done.
So it was an easy job.
It was a really easy job.
Has it made it a light problem then?
Yeah. Dripping through the ceiling for 3 days. Yeah. No ceiling. The only thing that's good is that he had lino down. Hard
yes,
floor.
It's not going to be in the floor.
No, it's a tiny little bit of ceiling. I'm more worried about the wooden beams. I just hope they dry out well.
Yeah, what's wrong?
At the end of the road, turn left.
Yeah, no, that's what I hope.
Turn left.
So yeah, on the way back to the test centre now.
Okay.
This is the time where people tend to lose focus, and a lot of people mess up at this point. They can smell a test centre and they're thinking, this is done, it's in the bag, and then they do something crazy like go through a red light or whack the curb or, yeah, so just try and keep your focus until all the way there.
Okay.
I will talk to you to distract you as much as possible though, okay? So I haven't pulled you over 3 times, I've only pulled you over once, so that would be a big difference in the driving test. It would 100% be at least 3 times. We haven't done an emergency stop, so you're a lucky 1 in 3 people, well, you're the lucky 2 in the 3 that hasn't had to do it. You've had pull over on the right, which in my opinion is probably the easiest one. Yeah?
Yeah.
Not for any reason than just where we've been. That was a good opportunity for that. Otherwise, when we got back, you would have done a reverse bay park or a forward bay park.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ahead, keep right.
Right.
I was wondering if you were going to turn.
Yeah, I don't think sometimes I just don't hear noises.
You just don't hear them?
Yeah, like
After
because I'm
400
concentrating
yards,
so much
turn
on
right.
everything I'm doing, I don't realise that there is a
right.
Good entertainment value.
Turn right, then take the 3rd right.
Right, I'm going to turn her off now because she's gets a bit grumpy.
Do you not do that where you can't hear noises?
Blank things out, I do,
Yeah.
but I hear them and then I'll say, oh, I might answer, I might even answer. You know, if my wife's talking to me and I'm doing something, I'll be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I basically put it into like a listed order in my head. And
right.
I focus on what I'm doing first. Once that's ticked off, I'll then automatically go back to like 2 minutes ago and go, yeah, you're asking about if the dog's been washed. Yeah, I did wash the dog last week. She's like, that was 2 minutes ago, you know. But yeah, no, I do blank things out.
dead bad for it.
I tend to just remember what they were and then subconsciously say them after.
Yeah.
So Maya.
Do you want me to go back
I love
over
Maya.
it before?
Well, sorry, yes, we'll go back to where we went before. Slow down a little bit. Yeah, cool. How was that?
Okay.
That is the end of your mock driving test.
I don't know.
You have passed. Well done.
Yeah, that's good.
Well done. Okay, there were some touch and go situations.
Yeah.
Okay, you have got a little bit of work to do. You are holding that clutch down far too much. You're lucky there's not a camera down there, because if there was, this could have been a different situation. Yeah, you're definitely coasting too much. Okay, so we've got to work on the coasting. Sometimes you're going too fast, especially those tight areas with the houses, especially the last bit. I don't know if you're just getting your nerves back or what, but there's cars parked on the left. It was a really tight turning, and you were flying down there, 23, no problem. I just would have slowed right down. Yeah,
okay.
definitely. You can't go too slow. You apologise for that right turning, you know, like you felt that you should have gone. You're rushing.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Maybe I could have gone, maybe someone else could have gone, but it would have been a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm fine.
Don't take risks.
Yeah.
If you should have gone and you didn't, at worst you're going to get a minor. If you can take a risk, that's the end of your test.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really important that. Got to slow down a bit more. Definitely. Your A500, great. Absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with that at all. You know, when you need to make progress, it's great. But the second there's cars involved, parked, anything like that, slower than
That's always been my big, I've always slow down and clutch have been my two biggest baddest.
We've got to sort that out, because I'll pick up on it like that and you'll be done.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been generous, to be honest with you. I've been nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That crossroads, not a biggie, but the cars were turning right. And that is it, ladies and gents, for this mock test at the Porthill Roundabout in Newcastle Under-Lyme with Jazz from TikTok. If you haven't already had a look at Jazz, if you're into TikTok, it's well worth having a look, especially at the spider in the eye video. If you haven't liked and subscribed to me yet, may very well be worth doing. It's really going to help me, if nothing else. Come back soon, see what else I got. Good luck.